That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace, and I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Celebration Center for Spiritual Living in Falls Church, Virginia. My name is Irina Kurashevich and I'm practitioner at the center, and today I will be our host. Our minister, Reverend Chris Ashley, is off today, and we wish her love and good times wherever she is. She deserves that rest. So with that, of course, she's available via email. So if you would like to get to her, so just email her this week and she'll be in touch, I'm sure. So we are online now and we're all kind of in the same position. So if you would love to say hi to each other, please do it in chat. And if you're new to the Celebration Center, please let us know who you are and where are you from, because we're absolutely happy to get to know you and to stay in touch. Today, as usually, we have a wonderful service planned for you. Please join me in thanking our awesome tech crew, which is Ivor Tillotson. Without Ivor, it's all impossible. We can hear each other, we can see each other because Ivor is doing what he knows what to do. Our practitioner today is our own Jen Fay, always, always, always happy and anticipated to see her and to hear her prayers. Our guest speaker today is Reverend Linda Rapond. And when I was getting ready for this service, I watched the several services and information about her. And what I can tell about Reverend Linda, that she dedicated her life and her spiritual focus is on bringing younger generations into this philosophy and make their life brighter, nicer, with more love, with more purpose. At some point in her life, she lived with a lot of young people in her house because she wanted them to have that influence of spirituality and knowing who they are. She now lives with her dog, and she hopes that the dog won't interfere the service. But I know that our congregation absolutely love to see animals. And our music today is provided by our beloved Lynn Hollifield, our music director. We have some technical problems, but we pray and know that it disappears, and we see and hear Lynn absolutely perfectly. So I have an announcement for you. The new class is coming. If you would love to get deeper into the science of mind, if you would like to make new friends, because taking a class, it's always, always, always an opportunity to meet new people or to get to know people that you thought you already knew much deeper. It creates the connections. It creates that bond that, will last you for years. And the class Reverend Chris is going to teach is amazing. It's the Essential Ernest Holmes. It will be held on Monday, beginning March 14th, and it will be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. I took this class several times myself, and it's wonderful readings. It's the best readings for me you can get from Ernest Holmes. And, the class is absolutely great. So I highly, highly recommend you to do that. This class will be held on Zoom, and to learn more how to register, visit celebrationcenter.org for more information. So it doesn't matter where you are, you always can join this class and be with us. So before we go to the vision, I want to say something that is very dear to my heart. Jen will be speaking shortly about what practitioners do. Every Sunday, we remind the congregation what practitioners are and what they do. And since January, I was absolutely blessed to be in touch with practitioners in Ukraine. They were just paneled in January. So what practitioners do when the war starts? Sorry. So every night they hold vigil because they believe that the light should shine. Every practitioner gets 30-minute or an hour slot, and they just pray. So that's what practitioners do. And I invite us all to keep them in our prayers. And with that, I think it's very appropriate to say our vision together, which will be on our screens shortly. Take a deep breath and say it with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Okay, and now we have our beloved practitioner, Jen Fay.
Good morning. So, I love the topic today. A spoonful of humor is the best medicine. And so, some of you have actually practiced laughter yoga with me in the past. And what I've learned about laughter yoga is that there's lots of really good health benefits to laughing. Things like reducing the cortisol level in our bodies, which is the stress hormone that wreaks havoc. So when we laugh, that happy chemistry is released, like endorphins, and makes us feel lighter. It's really just it is a very healthy practice. And in laughter yoga, it's all about laughing for no reason. And so I've learned that in our culture, people are not always comfortable with that. Because what do we call people who laugh for no reason? We call them crazy. So in my laughter coaching classes, I have reverted to humor. But the rule is we will tell jokes, and whether someone thinks it's funny or not, you have to laugh. So sometimes people will laugh for no reason, because they know it's good for them. So let me tell you something about, I got ahead of myself here. All right, so we will get back to laughing in a moment. I'd like to welcome all the new people out there. And if you are new to us, please let us know who you are and where you're from in the chat. Just say hello, and we'd love to acknowledge you. And like Arena said, practitioners are people who have taken training to learn about the spiritual truth of life. And when someone comes to us with a problem, whether they're trying to change something or expand a blessing they already have, there's a spiritual principle, spiritual truth behind everything. And so we are trained to know that spiritual truth and to hold that idea as we pray with them. So if you would like a prayer request, or if you have a prayer request, please feel free to send it to us. You can send an email to prayer@celebrationcenter.org, or if you go to our main website page, right on that front page, there's a button that says request affirmative prayer, and you can also send your prayer request that way, as well as contacting any of us practitioners. All right, so instead of a sacred reading today, I am going to be reading a few funny things. Hopefully you'll find them funny, but remember the rule. The rule is that whether you think it's funny or not, I want you all laughing out there. All right, so let's see. Oh, I got my pages out of order here. Hang on. Okay, why don't Buddhists vacuum in the corners? Because they have no attachments. There were two friends. One was a priest, the other was a bus driver. They both happened to die on the same day, and both arrived at heaven's gates, greeted by St. Peter. Peter allowed the bus driver to enter, directing him to the highest place in heaven. But the priest had to wait a long time. And so finally the priest asked Peter, why is it that the bus driver got to go ahead of me and was guided to the highest place in heaven, whereas I, who have talked about God all my life, have to wait so long? And Peter said, when you were speaking to the people at your church, everyone was sleeping. But when the bus driver was driving people, everyone was praying. Okay, there were two boys, age 8 and 10, who were very mischievous. And anytime there was mischief in town, their parents were uh, quite concerned because they knew their kids were probably involved in it. So at their wits' end, they contacted the new clergyman in town who had a reputation of doing well with disciplining children. So he asked to see each boy separately. The 8-year-old younger went to meet with him first. And so the clergyman set him down and he asked him a question. He said very sternly, "Where is God?" The boy just looked at him. He did not respond. So the clergyman repeated the question in a little sterner tone. "Where is God?" Still the boy did not respond. So the clergyman raised his voice even more and shook his finger at the boy. "Where is God?" With that, the boy ran out of the room, ran home, put himself in his closet, and closed the door. His older brother went into the closet with him and said, "What happened?" And the boy said, "Oh, we're in really big trouble this time. God is missing, and they think we did it." So the last little phrase is something to think about that comes from William James. He said, "Do we laugh because we're happy, or are we happy because we laugh?" Please join me in prayer. And so it is from this moment that I affirm the light of spirit brings a light heart to each of us. Even in these troubled times where the light seems dim, world events cause great concern and worry in our heart. We just feel burdened. We feel like there's nothing we can do. And yet the power of our own heart is infinite. The lightness that we shine into the world matters. And I affirm that this spiritual energy that flows from each of us into that conscious collective pool of energy is having an amazing impact. Michael sent out a prayer recently, or a message recently, with a poem that said, "I don't pray for peace, I pray for a miracle." And so, right here, may we each be a piece of that miracle, that we are contributing to peace in the world by bringing peace to our own heart and then shining it out so far around this planet and into that collective consciousness. May we each bring peace to this world through our own hearts, our own consciousness. And so let us just pause for a moment and imagine that light flowing from our hearts into the world, into Ukraine. And so I am grateful for the spirit within each person that is guiding each person in their courageousness, in their safety, in their own peace. That life is unfolding and spirit is right there in all the details. I am so grateful for the presence of love and the connection that we all have with each other and all of life. And I affirm that that connection is growing in strength and awareness. and that this world is waking up to a truth that is so powerful, so irresistible, that we feel that connection in our hearts and minds, in our being. I release these words into that universal law that responds to what I believe and what each person believes. And as we expand what we believe, there is greater possibilities being revealed, always being manifested. And so it is.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Gonna do so in the spirit of the theme today of play. I'm gonna do this is a recent song that I wrote about kind of where we are today. It's called "Here We Are." Here we are, riding another wave. Here we are, wishing it would all go away. Spirits soar when things start opening up. Turn the news way down and may call your bluff. Here we are, gotta take the good with the bad. Here we are, safe at home watching the world go mad. Settling down, are we ready to greet the day? Life's in disguise, be wise, nothing ever stays the same. Here we are, more time to watch the sky so blue. Here we are, I'm enjoying being here with you. Numbers ramping up, the next day they're damping down. We're riding this changing tide until the next wave comes around. Here we are, so many possibilities. Yeah, here we are, with variance and uncertainty. Yeah, here we are. We've made it this far. The one and only certain thing is, here we are.
Thank you, Lynn, for this wonderful music, and thank you, Jen, for this amazing prayer and the jokes. You made my day. And now it's my honor and privilege to welcome our guest speaker, Reverend Linda Rapon.
Hi, I'm very happy to be with you today. I just want to give a shout out to Reverend Chris. Just enjoying a well-deserved day off. It doesn't happen very often for us ministers, and so I hope she's out there enjoying it to the max. For those of you who are part of this community, I know you know already you have one of the most vibrant, alive, brilliant ministers in our movement. If you are not a member of this community and you're seeing this for the first time, I'm not the regular minister. Come back next week because you want to see and hear Reverend Chris, because she's amazing. I'm coming to you from Ashland, Oregon, which is 3 time zones away. So this is pretty early to take on a task of humor in my world. But I got up really early. I've had coffee. I've hopefully got my dog sleeping through the service. So I'm very happy to be here. I thought maybe the best way to approach a topic like a spoonful of humor is the medicine, is to share some jokes with you, which Lynn already did, but mine are worse. So you'll have to sit through a couple more. But I appreciate that the rule Lynn laid down is it Lynn? Am I talking to the right person here? Jen, sorry. The rule that Jen laid down is, even if it's terrible, you need to laugh. So here we go. A priest and a rabbi and a science of mind minister walked into a bar. And the bartender says, "What is this, some kind of joke?" That's one. They get worse. Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a pity they'll never meet. Okay, and this one is my favorite, given to me by my favorite 6-year-old. What is brown and sticky? A stick. Okay, I'll stop. Actually, the themes for our services are put together by an amazing team of people who vision and pray into it, and they're set almost a year in advance. And I'm pretty sure that when the theme for March was identified as play, they did not see what the world was going to look like today. Because honestly, the world doesn't feel very funny to me right now. I think all of us have been watching with horror as these images are seared across our brain of a sovereign country being invaded brutally and people fleeing for their lives, and incredible destruction, loss of life, loss of property, and the threat by a pretty crazed person of nuclear war, somebody who has their finger on the trigger, that's pretty scary, is affecting all of us. And that comes on the heels of an unprecedented global pandemic that we've all lived through, which is in the environment of climate catastrophe, which is bringing us floods and droughts and fires all over the world. Doesn't feel funny, does it? For those of us that are empathic, I know for myself, I can say I can feel the unsettledness and the fear in people's energy, even people just around the world. Just when you kind of like tune into what's going on feels scary and hard. So where to stand? Where do we as people of consciousness stand in the middle of all of this going on? Joy is our birthright. We came here for joy. Ancient message from the Upanishads. From joy, all beings have come. In joy, all beings are sustained. To joy, all beings return. This is the highest teaching. This is the highest teaching. I believe that. I live my life in a space of joy. So where are we now? Where am I now? Can we hold both joy and sorrow in the same breath? Can we feel all that is going on in the world that feels hard and painful and scary, and find our joy? Absolutely. We can do that. So I just want to say for myself, this last year, my husband of 41 years passed away. it has been a year of incredible grief, of redefining what life is like for myself, moving forward. I'm still in the middle of all of it. And so I really know this experience of holding joy and sadness together, because this is the process of grief, and I know many of you have felt that and lived it as well. Is I can be staring into a gorgeous sunset with absolute joy and awe, and in the very next second, the thought crosses my brain, Walter would have loved this. And suddenly I'm sobbing and I'm on my knees. And it's unexpected. It's not, you can't plan for it. I've become one of those people that always has tissues with me. I have tissues in my car. I have tissues in my purse. I have tissues in my pocket, because it comes on unexpected whenever it comes on. It's just, that is what it is. So this dichotomy of holding extremes in our experience at one time, it's messy, it's uncomfortable. It's not surprising that many people are reverting to absolutes. I know you may have seen this as well. Like everywhere in our country, in the world, people are seeking out absolutes. It's black or it's white. It's black or it's white. It's right or it's wrong. It's left or it's right. And it's the absolutist position. It's it's not. I think the whole world is found between the black and the white. That the between the extremes is the nuance, is the push pull. It's the complexity of life. Brene Brown, in her new book, brilliant book, Altars of the Heart. Is that the name of it? Is she talks about this push pull, and the nuance, and really what she says, I think, is so beautiful, is that all of life is between the extremes. So if you're seeing life as black or white, the entire color spectrum and all the shades are between those two. So the richness of life is not in the extremes. It's in living in the nuance, being willing to see the difference between shades of a color, being able to look at a flower, at a painting, at anything, and see the incredible beauty that is present in the complexity. That is what life is. Life is found in that nuance. And that's what I think we're called to see in all that is going on in the world and all that is going on in our hearts. The stretch, the push and pull of all of that nuance is where the richness of life is. The definition of amusement. This is from Brene Brown as well. From back in the 1500s, amusement was defined as a pleasant diversion from work or duty. That does sound like it came from a different era. Brene Brown has her own definition, which is, it is pleasurable, relaxed excitation. So playfulness, finding the funny in life, takes being willing to turn your perspective slightly to see what's happening from a perspective of humor. Why the hell not? We can do that. We have the right to choose our perspective in any given moment. I choose funny. I like funny. I think it's important to define funny, define what brings joy in funny. It's not sarcasm. It's not humor at someone else's expense. It's not even self-deprecating humor, because that's humor at my own expense. And I will not do that anymore. It's just, I'm worth more than making fun of myself. Been there, done that. But there is, within those parameters of what it's not, what it is a perspective of seeing life with lightness, being willing to see The enormous amount of things in life that are funny. Last week I was in the Bay Area where I used to live. And where I live now is in a small town of about 20,000 people. There is no traffic. There's, we used to joke about this when we first moved here because we get ready to go somewhere. And my husband would say, okay, it starts at 7:30. What time do we need to leave home? And I'd be 7:25. Just everywhere you go, it's 5 minutes to get there. So I'm driving through the Bay Area and remembering how that is not true there. I know your guys are on the Beltway and you get that. It's not 5 minutes to anything except maybe your parking garage. And I watched the amount of aggressive behavior and road rage. And I just started putting cartoon character faces on the drivers of these cars because that made it hilarious. And I could have gone to just full out frustration. And I just chose, like, no, I'm here. I'm going to get where I'm going whenever I get there. So let's have some fun here. And for an hour and a half, driving through what I didn't plan to have be, but turned out to be rush hour traffic because their rush hour lasts from like 2 to 8. I had a great time just enjoying cartoon characters behind wheels of cars. Looking at what's going on in the world right now, I'm wanting to find my place of humor, of joy, of enjoying my life, and being a prayerful presence for what is going on in the world. I know there are a number of people who have said this to me over the years. I have been a news junkie my whole life. I was a journalism major in college. I started then reading 5 newspapers a day. I still do. I don't watch television. I get it all online because I like print news better than video news. But I love to see all of the perspectives. I like to see what's going on in American reporting, the left side, the right side. I like to see what's going on in BBC reporting. I like to see all of this. And I've had people tell me often over the years, like, turn off that news source. Stop looking at that. Stop giving your attention to what's wrong in the world. And my response to that is, I'm sorry, that's my prayer list. I read the news to find out what I'm here to pray for today. And there's been a lot of prayer in the last week. I really have, like, my whole days have been consumed in this being the prayer for what is going on in the world right now, especially in Ukraine. And when I see it, in our teaching, where we're teaching oneness, where we understand that there is no separation between me and anyone else, between what's going on in my mind and what is expressing itself in the world, the principle of oneness is that there is no separation whatsoever. So that means for me, I am that terrified child crouched in a bunker in Ukraine. I am that soldier with a gun and orders to shoot. I am the world leader with their finger on the button of nuclear war. All of those are me. And it is the part of me that is not at peace, that is bringing that into form. Are you with me? This is, I think, the core of what we as religious scientists bring to the world, is an understanding that the change happens in me, that the God in me is the God that affects whatever happens in the world. So it's mine to pray for the peace in me, to find out the parts of me that are at war, the parts of me that are sitting in judgment, that are sitting in fear, that are sitting in lack, that are sitting in greed. All of those things live in me, or they wouldn't be living in the world. So this is our work. This is what we're here to do, is to do this work internally in us, to allow peace to come from us into the world. How do we do that? I'll tell you, for me, I think everybody's spiritual practice is something that we craft in a way that meets what our soul needs. But I will say this, for me, I move into my place of prayer and find myself in my heart chakra. And I find the light of Christ, the Christ light in that heart chakra, like right at the very center of my being. And I become that light. And I just then allow myself to see that radiating out into the world. And it radiates out into my home and into my neighborhood and into my cute little town. And I just stay with it until it radiates across this country and across the planet, and right to the places in this planet where there is so much pain at this moment. That light gets shined directly to those people. And then I just sit there and beam the light, and beam the light, and beam the light. And then I bring it back and shine that light within me and forgive myself for all of the places where I am not in alignment with the truth of that light. Because really, wherever there is an inability to shine that light, it is because there is something in us that we need to forgive, that we need to let go of, that we need to release. Because as we become a clear channel, the light pours through us and out into the world. It's that simple. Simple, yes. Easy, not always. But that's the work. That's what we're here to do. And from that place, there is an opportunity to bring so much love, so much light, so much joy into the world. And in beaming it into the hearts, minds, beings of people everywhere, we have the opportunity to allow spirit through us to make change in the world. Do I have proof that that's how it works? Nope, I don't. Do I have a willingness to believe that? I do. And I think that that is the invitation that I would give to you, is the willful suspension of disbelief. That's the nature of fiction. To allow ourselves to enter into an image of our heart, our presence, our love, making a difference, and send it to wherever we are seeing in this moment that it can make a difference. We are here to be the light. The light is light. There is lightness, there's joy, there's peace, there's a presence of ease in the light. This is our work. We're here to be the light. So I'd just like to invite you to move into a place of prayer with me in that spirit of the light. And so just letting go of everything else. We center into that awareness of the infinite presence of God everywhere, in, around, through, and as me. In, around, through, and as every person in this conversation today. We are that. That infinite presence is who and what we are, nothing less. That is who we are. God informed, God extending itself in time and space as us, using our voice, our hands, our hearts in the world. And that is such a powerful and high calling. There's a great humbleness that I say, yes, I am willing to be the vessel for that in the world. And so in this moment, I claim all of the peace, all of the wholeness, all of the love that is the divine to shine in me. And I center that right in my very heart chakra as pure light. And I simply beam that light everywhere in the world. I beam it into the rooms of world leaders who are making decisions. I beam that light right into their being. May they be guided. May they be protected. May they be seen as the truth of themselves. And may everything unlike their truth fall away in this moment. I beam that light to everyone who is taking orders to be at war, to be in conflict, to carry a gun, to do damage, to drive a tank. I beam this light right into their very beings as peace, as wholeness, as no separation. May they be awake to their own oneness. And I beam that light into the hearts, the minds, the spirits, the very beings of those people who are so terrified for their lives, for their homes, for their families. I send this light into them. May they know peace. May they find wholeness. May the path open before them with so much ease that they find their place of safety, of wholeness. And I bring that light right back to myself. May I be all of that. May I be the oneness, the wholeness, the peace, the love, the light that I'm sending. May I let go of every piece of discord within me so that I may be a pure vessel of light for this work. I claim this for myself. I claim this for every person in this community today. As we together are holding this light, we are that, nothing less. For this, I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Linda. That was beautiful. I'm going to stay kind of on the theme of play here. And this is a song called There May Be a Message in There. Intuition, superstition, premonition, yep. Sensing, knowing something's flowing to make us feel like that. Inner wisdom from a dream, what do we do with that? In our sight, just hold on tight, 'cause if you don't, it just might rip you right. Learn to accept, give up the fight. There may be a message in there. Receive a gift for the taking if your heart's open now. But you just fell and broke your phone, hard to remember to allow. This winding, rolling life unfolding with no instruction how. Just take a breath and clear your mind. Don't mind the ache in your behind. Don't be surprised at what you find. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. Take it, leave it, give or receive it with your crazy running round. Keep your senses open, pick that penny up you found. The wheels are turning, gears are twirling, life's precious merry-go-round. It's the road we're on and what you bring to it. The past is past, thank God we're through it. The sun sets, rises, shines light through us. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. Seasons shifting, time's a-ticking, hours into years. We step outside our comfort zone to overcome our fears. We wonder when the wisdom's come and light a candle, draw it near. It's just an art, a skill, a practice, just twirls you around like the Earth's axis. It can be a pain in your gluteus maximus. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there.
Thank you, Lynn. That was great. And thank you so much, Reverend Linda. It was absolutely amazing and heartful message. Thank you. And, lots of things to think about. In this time in our service, we usually give ourselves a chance to participate in the law of circulation. We are a tithing community, and we rely on tithing and gifts from our congregation and friends. So there are several ways you can give the financial gift to the center. And you can always mail it to the center's office. The website has our address, and our website is the celebrationcenter.org. Also on this website, you will find the give button, and you can push it and donate directly to the center. We also want to let you know and remember, please remember that your talent, your love, your presence, your prayer, your being here with us is a gift to the center. So with that, I invite us all to say our offertory affirmation. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. And now we receive a blessing from our practitioner, Jen Fay.
And so take a breath with me and just kind of anchoring into the energy we've created here. The truth that's been revealed in the words that Reverend Linda shared with us. The power we hold within us to bring light and peace. And so that is one way that we bring a benefit to this world, and we also bring a benefit by sharing from our treasure, our finances, from our time, our talents. And we are so grateful for all of that sharing, that giving, that opening of hearts to give, knowing that it is a reciprocal act and that there's much coming back to our lives. And so in this giving and receiving, there is a blessing. And we embrace that blessing and recognize the spiritual principle behind it. I'm so grateful for all the gifts that are shared and have been shared this day, and have been shared in the years of the Celebration Center, all the people who have contributed and allowed us to be here, right here in this moment. And so I simply release these words, knowing that as we give, we receive and bring amazing benefits to all of life and ourselves. And so it is.
All right, everyone. I don't know if you noticed when you first tuned in, but Reverend Chris had this duck on the kind of the screenshot of the poster for today's service, and she was pretty tickled about that. So We're going to do, yes. So thought we'd end with this closing song. And I believe Ivor's got the lyrics, and I hope you'll sing along. We've done this before. The choir's done it. We're going to sing A Place in the Choir by Bill Staines. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Listen to the bass, it's the one at the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo. Moo, the dogs and the cats, they take up the middle while honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, donkey brays and the pony neighs, and the old coyote howls. Woo! Listen to the top. I'm sorry, back to the chorus. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds sing on the melodies with the high notes ringing. The hoot owl hollers over everything and the jaybird disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way. The possum ain't got much to say and the porcupine talks to himself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. It's a simple song, a living song everywhere, by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wires. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. All God's critters got a place in the choir.
What a beautiful way to end this service. Thank you, Lynn. That's gorgeous. And so just as we go out today in our hearts, may we go out with peace. May we go out with joy. May we be the light in the world today. And so it is. Amen.